Good evening. This is All India Radio and I'm Anuja Kumar with the news at 9. The headlines. BJP veteran and former Finance Minister Arun Jaitley passes away at 66. Last rites to be performed at Nigambodh Ghat in New Delhi tomorrow. Political leaders cutting across party lines condole the death of Mr. Jaitley. Condolences also pouring in from finance and law fraternity and abroad. India and Bahrain sign 4 agreements after delegation-level talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Bahrainian counterpart. Prime Minister holds talks with Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, also receives UAE's highest civilian honour, Order of Zayed. Janmashtami being celebrated across the country today. And in badminton, PV Sindhu reaches women's singles final of World Badminton Championships, defeating Chen of China. Senior BJP leader and former Finance Minister Arun Jaitley passed away in New Delhi today. He was 66. The BJP leader was undergoing treatment at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, AIIMS, in New Delhi. In a statement, the AIIMS said, Mr. Jaitley, who was admitted to the hospital on the 9th of this month, passed away at 12:07 p.m. The mortal remains of Mr. Arun Jaitley have been taken to his residence from AIIMS and will be brought to the BJP headquarters at 10 a.m. tomorrow for people to pay their last respects. The last rites will be performed at Nigambodh Ghat in the capital tomorrow. A tribute.
A towering figure in Indian politics, former Finance Minister Arun Jaitley was a senior leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Arun Jaitley was the Union Finance Minister in the Narendra Modi-led National Democratic Alliance government's first term in the power at the centre. Besides finance, Jaitley previously had the defence, corporate affairs, commerce and industry and law and justice portfolios in the Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Narendra Modi governments. Jaitley, who has been indisposed for some time, was not able to present the union budget for 2018-19 and the 2019-20 interim budget due to his poor health. He also did not contest the Lok Sabha elections in 2019. With Jaitley as the finance minister, the government was able to take several key economic initiatives like demonetization and the implementation of the Goods and Services Tax (GST).
We are in the process of making history with the launch of the Goods and Services Tax. We will be launching one of India's biggest and most ambitious tax and economic reforms in history. The GST may be a destination tax, but for India it will begin altogether a new journey.
In Jaitley's stewardship, the Modi government merged the railway budget with the general budget. Moreover, the decision to advance the date of the general budget to 1st of February was also taken with Jaitley as the finance minister. He also introduced insolvency and bankruptcy court to resolve the issues with companies that were turning insolvent. IBC had played a key role in the corporate sector in the recent times. Arun Jaitley has contributed in a major way to the BJP and the government for over 2 decades. He has been one of the most important strategists for the party. Jaitley was seen as the key player in preparing the party's strategies for the Lok Sabha and the Assembly elections for decades.
President Ram Nath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other senior leaders of BJP and other parties have expressed grief over the passing away of Arun Jaitley. Mr. Kovind said, a brilliant lawyer, a seasoned parliamentarian and a distinguished minister, he contributed immensely to the nation building. The President also paid tribute to the former Finance Minister at his residence in New Delhi. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said, Mr. Jaitley's death is an irreparable loss for the country and personally to him also.
I have no words to express my grief. He was known for his articulation, an outstanding parliamentarian, powerful intellectual, and an able administrator and a man of impeccable integrity.
In a series of tweets, Prime Minister Modi said Jaitley was a political giant, towering intellectual and legal luminary. He also spoke to Mr. Jaitley's wife and son and expressed condolences. Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman Harivansh has said he was a man with a multifaceted personality and his demise was a great loss to the nation. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said that the country will never forget the contribution of Arun Jaitley and he was an asset to the country.
उन्होंने विभिन्न दायित्वों का निर्वाह करते हुए जहां पर पार्टी संगठन को अपना योगदान दिया है, वहीं पर भारत सरकार में रहकर भी उन्होंने बखूबी अपनी जिम्मेदारी का निर्वाह किया है। मैं बराबर ये कहता रहा हूं कि सचमुच अरुण जेटली जी जैसा व्यक्ति पार्टी के लिए भी एसेट है, गवर्नमेंट के लिए भी एसेट है और वह देश के भी एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण एसेट है।
Home Minister Amit Shah said Arun Jaitley's demise is an unbearable loss to the BJP workers. He said as a member of parliament, he always raised the voice of the people and acted as a crusader against corruption.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं के लिए एक सहन न होने वाला आघात हम सबको आज लगा है। परमात्मा से यही प्रार्थना करता हूं कि प्रभु इनकी आत्मा को चिर शांति दे और उनके परिवारजनों को ये आघात सहन करने का हौसला दे।
Expressing his grief, BJP Working President JP Nadda said,
अरुण जेटली जी का व्यक्तित्व मृदुभाषी, व्यवहार से मधुर, सबको साथ ले चलने की ताकत, पार्टी जब भी संकट में होती थी और सरकार को हमेशा एक संकट मोचक के रूप में उन्होंने आगे बढ़ाया और हमेशा पार्टी के लिए समर्पित होकर के उन्होंने देश की सेवा की और पार्टी की सेवा की।
Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting Prakash Javadekar has said he is shocked at the demise of his friend Arun Jaitley.
ये बहुत दुख का क्षण है। ओजस्वी वक्ता, बहुमुखी प्रतिभा के धनी, अकाट्य तर्क देने वाले हमारे नेता, संसद की वो शान थे, पार्टी की भूमिका सही शब्दों में व्यक्त करते थे। लगातार भारतीय जनता पार्टी के अटल जी, आनंद जी, पर्रिकर जी, सुषमा जी और अरुण जी, इनके निधन से निश्चित कार्यकर्ता आहत है।
Former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh said Arun Jaitley was an eminent lawyer, an excellent orator, a very good administrator and an outstanding parliamentarian. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi also expressed his grief over the demise of Mr. Jaitley. Senior lawyer and Congress leader Abhishek Manu Singhvi also extended his condolences.
एक बहुत परिपक्व और बहुत सुलझे हुए, बहुत हुनर वाले वकील थे वो, एक बहुत जबरदस्त प्रतिभाशाली राजनीतिज्ञ थे और एक विशाल हृदय के व्यक्ति थे। हमेशा उनकी वही स्टाइल थी कानून में जो उनकी राजनीति में थी, बड़ा सीधा स्पष्ट, बहुत सारे डिटेल्स को कट थ्रू करते हुए साग गागर में सागर भरना।
Prime Minister of Nepal, KP Sharma Oli, has also expressed condolences on the demise of Mr. Jaitley. Several top diplomats have condoled the passing away of Mr. Jaitley. U.S. Ambassador to India, Ken said Arun Jaitley was a great statesman and a strong proponent of the U.S.-India relationship. French Ambassador to India, Alexander Ziegler, offered condolences on behalf of his country. Chinese envoy in India, Sun Weidong, also conveyed his condolences to the departed leader's family members. The European Union's ambassador to India, Tomasz Kozlowski, said the country has lost one of its most respected leaders and statesmen. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
रत्ना काकी, नगमा दीदी, रोसी आंटी, सोनू काका, प्रकाश भैया, सबको बुलाओ, तैयार हो जाओ, मिलके करेंगे गांव का नाम रोशन, होगी जब स्वच्छता की परीक्षा।
जब गांव वाले लगे परिवार जैसे, तो हुआ ना गांव भी घर जैसा। तो चलो मिलके गांव को भी घर जैसा साफ रखते हैं और अपना नाम रोशन करते हैं। गांव की परीक्षा मतलब स्वच्छ सर्वेक्षण ग्रामीण शुरू हो चुकी है। हम हैं तैयार और आप।
पेयजल एवं स्वच्छता विभाग, जल शक्ति मंत्रालय, भारत सरकार द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in Bahrain today on a 2-day state visit. He was given a red carpet welcome with a guard of honor at the airport. Later, Mr. Modi held delegation-level talks at Al Gudaibiya Palace with Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, who is also the Prime Minister of Bahrain. 4 agreements were signed in the fields of culture, space, solar alliance and an MOU on the rollout of RuPay card. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Modi said he looked forward to more bilateral cooperation in various sectors. Our correspondent covering the Prime Minister's visit reports that Mr. Modi will address the Indian community at the Bahrain National Stadium.
India has resolved to extend ties with Bahrain by signing of agreements and memorandum of understanding in various sectors. Prime Minister's visit is a boost to the Indian community which is living here. More than 3.5 million Indians live here. Both the countries have had economic and trade relations for several centuries. Bahrain's investment in India amounts to $173 billion through FDI. On the other hand, India has 23 branches of prominent Indian banks and 3,181 joint ventures registered in this country. India has been taking it forward to launch the RuPay card facilities here. Bahrain launched Little India in Bahrain project in 2015 to acknowledge and mark the contribution of Indian community to the history and the progress of Bahrain. Prime Minister was given a rousing welcome at the hotel as well as at the venue of the stadium in which he addressed the gathering. With Sanjeev Sundrial, Joy, AIR News, Bahrain.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today discussed the full spectrum of the strong India-UAE partnership with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. In a tweet, the Prime Minister said they spoke about multiple subjects, including ways to improve trade and people-to-people relations between India and the UAE. Mr. Modi said the Crown Prince's personal commitment to strong bilateral relations is very strong. Mr. Modi was also conferred with the highest civilian award of United Arab Emirates, the Order of Zayed. After receiving the award, Mr. Modi, in a tweet, said, "More than an individual, the award is for India's cultural ethos and is dedicated to 130 crore Indians." He thanked the UAE government for the honor. More from our correspondent.
It was a warm welcome for Prime Minister Modi in the UAE. This was his third visit to the Gulf country in the past 4 years. The visit gave a fresh fillip to the already existing strong ties between the two countries. The Prime Minister described the India-UAE relations at their best ever. The two leaders also discussed a number of bilateral issues of mutual interest, including ways to improve trade and people-to-people relations between India and UAE. They also signed on the commemorative stamp issued on the occasion of 150 years of Mahatma Gandhi's birth. The Crown Prince had organized a banquet in the honor of Prime Minister Modi and later, as a special gesture, went to the presidential airport to personally see him off. Kanchan Prasad, AIR News, Abu Dhabi.
Janmashtami, the birthday of Lord Krishna, is being celebrated across the country with religious fervour and gaiety. In Uttar Pradesh, the main function is taking place at Janmashtami in Mathura, the birthplace of Lord Krishna. Our Lucknow correspondent has filed this report.
The temples, streets and roads have been richly decorated, giving grandeur and divine look across the town. A large number of devotees from country and abroad flocked in Mathura are eagerly waiting to have a glimpse of incarnation of their deity Kana. The whole town is filled with religious fervor and gaiety, and sea of devotees is seen on the streets. People are pining for the moment when the needles of clock rings 12 o'clock at midnight and Nandlal will open eyes. At the time of Lord's birth is approaching near, the people are becoming more excited. Enchantings of bhajans and kirtans are reverberating all over, making the atmosphere heavenly. MS Yadav, AIR News, Lucknow.
In badminton, India's PV Sindhu stormed into the third successive final at the BWF World Championships in Basel, Switzerland today. She outclassed world number 3 Chen of China 21-7, 21-14 in a 40-minute semi-final. Sindhu will now face either 2013 world champion Ratchnok Intanon of Thailand or 2017 winner Nozomi Okuhara of Japan in the summit clash tomorrow. In cricket, the West Indies were all out for 222 in their first innings on the third day of the first test against India at Antigua today. This was in reply to India's first innings score of 297 runs. Leading by 75 runs, India were 14 without loss in their second innings. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. BJP veteran and former Finance Minister Arun Jaitley passes away at 66. Last rites to be performed at Nigambodh Ghat in New Delhi tomorrow. Political leaders cutting across party lines condole the death of Mr. Jaitley. Condolences also pouring in from finance and law fraternity and abroad. India and Bahrain signed 4 agreements after delegation-level talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Bahrainian counterpart. Prime Minister holds talks with Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, also receives UAE's highest civilian honour Order of Zayed. Janmashtami being celebrated across the country today. And in badminton, PV Sindhu reaches women's singles final of the World Championships, defeating Chen of China. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.